Welcome to Donu's Week, which is about what I've been up to for the past 7 days, the people I've interacted with, the places I've been to, the things I've done and not done, and the thoughts I've had. Hello, so welcome to Donu's Week. I am actually going to Europe today. Those of you who are familiar with my life know that I shuttled between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. But I spent the past few weeks in Nigeria, and I'm standing in my residence in Abuja, the capital city, overlooking the compound I share with my 3 neighbors, swimming pool, gym. It's a pretty good life, for us as individuals, even though the wider environment is full of challenges. But let me just quickly give you a health update. My struggle to overcome diabetes is going quite well. And I just want to thank Monica. Oh my God, I'm always complaining about Monica doing this wrong or doing that wrong, but she does a lot of things right as well. And I just want to thank her. She's made it easier for me to actually, shed the weight. She's made me all kinds of low-calorie soups and things like that. So thank you, Monica. It strikes me that when I get to Europe, I'm not going to have much help because domestic help is not a big thing in the Western world unless you're very, very rich, which I certainly am not. And so I will keep you posted on how things go when I flip to the other side of the world. Start in London, then I shall go to the south of France to see a couple of friends. And then from there, I shall go to Spain to attend my goddaughter's wedding. Let me talk about the highlights and lowlights of my week before I sign off. And actually, the topic, the stories that have entered my consciousness, hit my radar screen most forcibly in the past few days, relates to something that actually happened the week before last. And it is the 50th anniversary of the University of Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is a town in the oil-producing Niger Delta region of Nigeria, where I come from. And the university had its 50th anniversary convocation. And the main honoree was Nyesom Wike, a former governor of Rivers State, the state in which Port Harcourt is the capital of Rivers State. And apparently he's done a lot of great things for the university. He's endowed a couple of chairs, given out some scholarships, paid for a wonderful state-of-the-art auditorium, and so on. So it's not that people aren't grateful for what he has done. It's just that he kind of ruined the 50th anniversary event for the other people who attended. I mean, I've received so many complaints. Nobody else was allowed to stand up and take a bow. Nobody else was called onto the stage by the vice chancellor or the pro chancellor or whatever. It was just Wike, that's his surname. Wike. It was like nobody else existed. Even professors and academic staff who had played such a key role in making the university as successful as it can be under current circumstances. Some of them didn't even get chairs because Wike arrived with convoys and an entourage, and a lot of people felt very demeaned by the experience. First of all, it made them look small and look completely unimportant. And, it's hurtful when you're the one toiling away at the coalface week after week, day after day, and then some big shot who has, done a lot of good things for the institution shows up. And because he spent millions of dollars on bringing the place up a notch or two, he's the only one who's effectively thanked properly, the only one who's actually allowed to occupy the spotlight and get some applause. And so Wike has hurt a lot of people. And so I blame the university authorities actually, because it's their job to make sure that nobody is too overbearing at this kind of event. You know, they are academics, they're intellectuals. They shouldn't be so obsessed with pleasing someone whose only real contribution is money. I mean, so I mean, a member of the governing council, the board of the university, is a friend of mine, King Mene Kadilo Kabari. And I cornered him and I said, what's all this nonsense I keep hearing about how everybody except the former governor was honored, or rather was ignored at this very important 50th anniversary event? And he said to me, look, he was the one who explained to me all the things that Wike had done for the university. It was very, very clear that the university owes Mr. Wike a lot. So let me repeat that acknowledgement. Because, I mean, there are rich people who don't help anybody or promote any institution. So let's thank Mr. Wike for boosting the University of Port Harcourt's fortunes. But let's also berate him for carrying on as if he's some kind of emperor and the only person who has made the university what it is today. Okay? So, very, very poor taste. Why couldn't he just go there with his wife, his children, handful of friends, take a bow, even if, you know, and let everybody else get up on the stage. Let other people receive applause. No. Everybody was blocked. Nobody could stand up. Nobody could shine except him. And that's the problem I have with some of these Nigerian VIPs. Wike is particularly bad at it. It's the egomania, yeah? The lack of humility and the desire to look like the King of Kings and as if everybody else is meaningless, okay? So, Mr. Wike, you and I used to be friends. Let me just say, I'm not happy with you at the moment, and I hope that if a similar opportunity arises in future, you will allow the other people who have contributed to the well-being of a particular space or organization to also get a moment in the sun. Okay? So, food for thought for this week. This is the slot in which I say, well, I talk about things that have provoked thought, or thought-provoking, and things that I think we should think about, or things that have made me think. And what I will say again, as I leave Nigeria to head to Europe to see friends and, you know, do some work out there as well, spend some quality time there as well, because that's like my second home. In fact, in some ways, it's my first home, the UK, London. I reflect on the fact that there are lots of bad stories coming out of the UK right now about uncontrolled immigration. The Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, doesn't seem to be generating much goodwill or respect right now. And it makes me think about how no country is perfect. I'm always complaining about Nigeria. I'm always complaining about President Tinubu. But the British are also always complaining about their leaders and their country. And no doubt Americans and others frequently go through these periods of intense criticism. So I suppose my food for thought is, no country in the world is perfect, and even Nigeria, which I'm always slugging off, has a good side. I mean, I'd never be able to afford a house like this in the UK, because, you know, when you convert my rent in Abuja into dollars or pounds, here I have this house with the pool, the gym, and everything for the same price it would cost me to rent a little tiny semi-detached property in London. So, hey, Nigeria, I'll miss some things about you, and of course, I'll miss Monica and Favor and all the people here who helped me out, because that's another thing about Africa. Definitely, you get more help, which you appreciate when you're getting older. And in London, I'll have to do a lot more things on my own. That's fine, but let's be appreciative of the things that are good about Africa and say thank you to the people who make the African experience tolerable even during hard times and pleasurable during good times. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.